Live from downtown Oklahoma City, Oklahoma's own News 9 starts now.
Right now here at 5 o'clock, stepping up to help even the smallest fire departments, how the state is helping rural departments during wildfire season.
Plus, preserving a piece of Oklahoma City history, the surprise donation that will help restore the Freedom Center, and this.
But I heard everybody screaming and yelling, and I've had issues with these neighbors before, so I just called 911.
Gunfire erupts in a Norman neighborhood, reaction from one of several neighbors who called law enforcement. And that's where we begin here at 5 o'clock. That shootout in the middle of a Norman street sent 3 people to the hospital. Thanks for joining us. I'm Karl Torp.
And I'm Amanda Taylor. Police have not made any arrests, but may not have to look too far. News 9's Jennifer Pierce is in the newsroom with the details. Jen?
Amanda, Karl, police tell me the 2 men taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries shot at each other. And they say a bystander was grazed by one of their bullets.
Norman police say a large gathering at a home near Main Street and 36th Avenue Northwest turned violent early Wednesday morning. A fight broke out and moved into the street.
So at about 2:36 this morning, we started receiving phone calls in regards to a shooting and shots fired.
One of the 911 callers lives across the street from where the disturbance broke out.
We hit the ground. My poor little mom fell. She's in her 70s. And we hit the ground like army crawling, and our dogs were going crazy.
Riggs worried a stray bullet would hit their home. She says first responders showed up shortly after the gunfire stopped.
I was just terrified. It sounded like a war zone.
Police say 2 27-year-old men were found in the street with gunshot injuries, both believed to be involved in the shootout.
One individual pulled a gun on another individual. That individual also produced a gun. They both fired shots. Both of them were struck by that gunfire.
Witnesses told police a 26-year-old woman was grazed by a bullet and taken to the hospital by private vehicle. Police stayed at the scene through the early morning hours, marking and collecting evidence for the investigation.
I've lived there for almost 10 years, and I've never had anything like this happen.
And no one is in custody today, but Norman police say the investigation is not over and anticipate arrests soon. Amanda.
Jen, thank you. Police say 2 victims were treated and released from the hospital already. One still remains hospitalized. Well, yesterday's strong winds are gone, and we ended February on a high note weather-wise. David Payne joins us now from the Bob Mills Weather Center, and the beginning of March is going to be a different story for us.
Yeah, you know, Karl, but let's enjoy the end of February, right? 70s and 80s, more of like today, headed our way. And then it's going to get wet, it's going to get a little cooler, and then we're talking about some severe weather. We're doing fine. We have some clouds, though, moving in. These are mainly high clouds coming in from the northwest. Today, up to a nice, beautiful 74 after a morning low of 44. So big turnaround today. We're still at 72 in Oklahoma City. Mid to upper 70s in the southwest. We've had a few 80s out here today. The wind, I love this map, show this all day. Winds at about 5 to 10 miles per hour out of the south and southeast, not much wind. All right, so here it comes, the jet stream. Now coming up and over the Pacific, sliding down to the southeast across Oklahoma. And this is going to be our storm number 1 and storm number 2. Storm number 1 is fairly small that comes out of this. Storm number 2 will be the whole ball of wax here. It'll be the whole big deal, okay? That's on the 9-day. And then we jump to storm number 3. It's another big one coming out of the Pacific here. By the way, there's Anchorage, Alaska, and there's Tokyo. So this is way out there, but I like it, and it's coming our way for next week. So the setup, we've been talking about this, folks, all week long. The moisture increases, strong jet stream riding up and over Oklahoma, instability increases. What do you get? Well, you get thunderstorms, and you get some severe weather, and I'm talking about next week. Lots of rain ahead. Potentially how much rain and what types of severe weather. 90 forecast coming up. Guys, back to you.
David, thanks. Back in the news, 2 Edmond Santa Fe high school students are arrested after a planned fight leads to the discovery of a loaded gun on campus. The district says a school resource officer noticed several students gathering in a back hall this morning. He stepped in and 2 17-year-olds were detained. That's when a gun was found in one of the students' backpacks. The principal says the students will be disciplined according to district policy. We are waiting for Oklahoma City Police to release new details, including the name of the suspect arrested after a standoff with officers this morning. Right now, all we know is an armed suspect refused to come out of a home near Northwest Expressway and Blackwelder around 11:30 this morning. He eventually surrendered peacefully.
Oklahoma City Police arrest 4 juveniles accused of stabbing a guy in the back of the head and stealing his shoes. Police say this happened near Northwest 5th and Classen just after midnight. The victim was able to identify the suspects who were arrested. Police say the man is expected to be okay. The OSBI and Cleveland County Sheriff's Office are investigating the death of a man reported missing earlier this week. Investigators say Gabriel Butler was last seen in Lexington and was reported missing Sunday morning. We're still waiting to learn where Butler was found and how he died. The Cheyenne and Arapaho tribes say its critical response team likely saved confidential information from being leaked during a recent cyber attack.
The tribe says its system shut down immediately after the breach back in December. And while recovery efforts are still underway, experts say a response plan like the one the tribe had in place is critical in attacks like this.
Most important thing is have multi-factor authentication on any sensitive data. That'll take care of 95% of it. Also, to have really good employee training so they will look at any links before they click.
The tribe says while the data was protected, as of last week, the systems were only about 80% restored. They also say they're working to add even more safeguards to its system. The Cherokee Nation is creating a task force to look into the impact of data centers that are being planned across the state. The group will look at data from existing centers as well as the locations for planned centers to predict impacts on the economy and on the environment. They'll also see how the centers would align with the tribe's business interests. The report will be completed by the end of June.
Coming up, fresh off a hanging on for dear life win in Toronto, OKC is back on the court tonight, again without SGA. Can they have the same magic in the Motor City? Steve gives us his thoughts.
But next, a bill is looking to extend the ability to deny open records requests. The state agency's lawmakers want to add to the list after the break. Some state lawmakers are looking to expand the number of state agencies that can keep some files out of public view. The bill passed out of its first committee, giving the Oklahoma Corporation Commission, OBN, and the Able Commission the choice to refuse requests for documents related to ongoing investigations to prevent interference. The same limits on open records already exist for files at the AG's office and for law enforcement agencies. Another bill at the state capitol would change fire danger levels to allow counties to issue its own burn bans faster. Right now, the level must be extreme for counties to issue burn bans. Under this bill, counties would only need 3 requirements from a list of 6 to declare an extreme fire danger and issue a ban. This now moves to the full House.
And state leaders say they are working hard to make sure all fire departments are ready to respond if a wildfire pops up in their area. And they say planning and preparation are key, especially for departments that rely solely on volunteers, meaning resources can be stretched thin, especially during large fires.
In the rural areas, they have to have those relationships with their neighboring communities to make sure that they're responding to these collectively. And not just, again, one piece of equipment with a few firefighters on it.
And the state is also coordinating resources to help those rural departments.
And I'm all in on changes, but also I would look at I'm just talking out loud here, maybe like a burn ban, like a blanket burn ban, like a couple of days out ahead, so we just shut it down where there's no burning up until the big day. Just think about it here. All right. Hey, we're talking about our Lucky Star Skycam network. We have sunshine, some high clouds around. Get ready, rain's coming, and possibly some severe weather. Your forecast coming up.
Also, Oklahoma City's 2-game road trip starts off with a W. Can they do it again tonight against the Pistons? Steve joins us from Detroit after this break.
You're watching Oklahoma's own News 9.
The Thunder back on the court for a second night in a row, another road game. They're in Detroit to play the team with the best record in the Eastern Conference.
The Pistons are healthy, while OKC is quite the opposite, going into the first of two matchups between the two. Our Thunder reporter Steve McGee has the latest from the Motor City.
It seems like a broken record at this point. We'll call them Thunder Light tonight. More players out tonight, more than even last night in Toronto. Isaiah Hartenstein is out after playing last night. Chet Holmgren and Alex Caruso are listed as doubtful. I doubt they play tonight against Detroit. That means Lou Dort, Jalen Williams, Jared McCain, Isaiah Joe, Cason Wallace. Again, they must step up, and that's the silver lining to all these injuries. Guys, like I just mentioned, have done that, stepped up.
You can't control your circumstances. We always want to be fully healthy and have everybody. But when you get dealt a hand, you got to play it as best you can, and we try to be optimistic, and we try to be a team that leverages the circumstances to our favor and tries to use every situation, even if it's a challenge, to build some momentum. And the guys have done an unbelievable job. They see these types of things as a challenge.
Oklahoma City lacking inside depth against the Pistons. Brandon Carlson more than likely will play for the Thunder tonight. Jalen Williams, the only other center for Oklahoma City. Kendrick Williams probably going to play center position as well. Much more in this matchup. We'll hear the latest from Mark Daignault coming up at 6 o'clock. From downtown Detroit, Steve McGee, Oklahoma's own News 9.
This is a big one. It's another nationally televised game for OKC. Tip-off at 6:30.
I kind of understand after winning last night in Toronto that they are resting some guys tonight.
Okay.
Good idea.
You know? Yeah.
Reason
I mean,
behind
they're
it.
resting half the team.
Yeah.
Seriously, it's like no one's playing tonight.
Okay, but they can still pull it out.
No, hey, just be ready for the playoffs. They know how to do it.
I'm just guessing the coaching staff knows what they're doing.
Exactly.
Unlike
We
us.
trust
no,
them,
we trust. We
100%.
trust in them.
I
for
mean,
sure.
I'm barely dressed right now.
Yeah, you're not wearing pants.
Well, you've had a long
I am
day.
wearing pants.
Yes, you are. You've had a long day up
That was
early.
kinda rude, I thought.
No,
It was kind of rude. What now?
you were up early
Yeah.
talking to the
I'm up
kids.
early every day. What's
I
the
know, but you were
difference?
talking like 900 kids this morning.
No, I had about 9 or 10.
Show
No, we had about
people
900.
what-
Here's
look
the
at
video.
that.
There it is. Look at that shot. Yeah. So we took over again the National Cowboy and Western Heritage Museum. Swope and I were down there, and man, over 900, right? Give or take, about 900. They were piled in. They were all over Oklahoma, and schools, and just a great group of kids. And then we brought a few of them up on stage. We put them in what to wear if you're at home during a tornado, when you go to your safe spot, center part of the house, lowest level. We preach it all the time. And anyway, it was a good time. That's not a very flattering shot. What's going on with that? Anyway, just a great crowd this morning, okay? Had a great time. We made the big tornado. We put Lacey back here on the Vandy graph, lit her up. Her hair stood up on it. Let's wait for that shot. It's pretty good. And, oh yeah, let's wait for it here. It gets better. Okay. Yeah, you hear the music in the background? Yeah. Talking about storm trackers. You gotta have the Vandy graph shot. Where is it? I'm still waiting for it. All right. Anyway, I ran out of video. Okay. It's another piece of video that has Lacey being shocked. Clearly not that piece, but anyway. All right, here in Oklahoma City right now, we are mostly cloudy, just high clouds around, bone dry, 72 degrees with a light southeast wind now at about 5 miles per hour. Not much wind. Downtown shot, all of our cameras, again, brought to you by Lucky Star Skycam Network. All right, 73 in Stillwater, 75 in Sealing, 75 in Hobart. Beautiful, light winds. Yeah, it's nice, right? Look at all the 70s right now. Remember, the normal highs are in the 50s, okay? Nowhere near that. And the wind blowing in from the southeast, blowing back to the north at about 5 miles per hour. So not much wind. Our next cool front, and it's not much of a front, will come in tonight and tomorrow. So tomorrow will be a few degrees cooler than today. Let's talk about the good stuff. So warm weather tomorrow, into your Friday, into your Saturday. We get a dip in the jet. We get a pretty strong cold front in here on Sunday. Sunday's going to be chilly. Highs in the 40s and 50s on Sunday. Warmer in southern Oklahoma. And then this is going to be Storm 1 and Storm 2. That's on your 9-day. That's going to be Storm number 3. That's on your 9-day. And that one and also that one is going to bring us rain and thunderstorms and some severe weather as we get into the middle and end of next week. As we get the jet stream up and over Oklahoma, southeast winds bringing in that Gulf moisture, And for severe weather-wise, besides January 8th, this will be one of the, well, more impressive setups we've had this spring. Just the fact we're going to have the moisture in here and the jet stream and all that going on. But heavy rain at times, multiple storms, at least 3 it looks like, headed for Oklahoma. And that threat of severe weather, it's going to be here. Oklahoma, right in the middle of it, coming up next week. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Timing will change. And then another wave possibly is beginning to Saturday and Sunday. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. And then there might be a third wave for the following week. So let's get into it here. If we get this much rain, this is going to put a nice dent in the drought. I don't think this is exactly going to work out, but I think we're going to take these numbers at least half. So if we get a couple of inches, some areas might see more. Man, that's all good. And that would put a huge dent in our drought, bring the fire threat down simply because we would really start to green things up. And it's all good, right? We need rain, and again, you get your heaviest rain when you have thunderstorms, and, well, we're talking about maybe some severe weather. All right, lows tonight, we do upper 40s. Highs tomorrow with a north wind tomorrow. A little breezy, still nice. Upper 60s in Ponca City, 78 in Ardmore, 73 in Clinton. And then Friday, 70s on Friday. Your Saturday, look at Saturday. 80s, out of control on Saturday. 9-day forecast. Take a look, 70s going into the, again, 80s on Saturday. Chillier Sunday, high 53. Light rain and drizzle. Might have a couple of thunderstorms. Monday, 49, still cloudy. Tuesday, showers, maybe some thunderstorms ramping up, and then they really ramp up off and on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And again, I'll say it again, that will include the threat for some severe weather. We're talking about it. We're all over it. Carl, back to you.
David, thank you. A civil rights landmark in Oklahoma City is getting a major upgrade. How a surprise donation is preserving the legacy of Clara Luper. After the break.
A piece of Oklahoma City history established back in the 1960s is in need of some major repairs.
And now those repairs can happen thanks to a surprise donation. News 9's Mike Glover shows us the work being done to preserve the Freedom Center in tonight's Something Good.
This Black History wall at the Freedom Center at one time had these little placards that really didn't represent the center very well. But that's all about to change.
The Freedom Center was created because we needed a place for us to meet.
In 1967, the former gas station was acquired for what would become the Freedom Center.
One of the biggest things that we're working on is called Inside These Walls.
Today, the work continues as a nonprofit organization, and support from the community is crucial.
We cannot grow as a state and as a nation unless we work together.
So to ensure that the work continues, the employees and Paycom have stepped in.
Today, I'm honored to present this check for $50,000. To the Freedom Center of Oklahoma City as part of Paycom's employee giving program and company donation match.
The timing couldn't be better. We're working to wrap up the last little project of the restoration, so completing that Black History wall.
For Paycom's Rachel Moore, this donation was special.
I grew up in Northeast Oklahoma City. My family has been in Oklahoma for many years, so I think it's important that we continue to preserve civil rights history in Oklahoma.
In addition to upgrades to the Black History Wall, the donation will also propel education projects.
We'll be doing things like school and group tours. We'll be launching our Clara Luper Distinguished Speaker Series.
The amount of the donation was kept under wraps until the presentation, and once it was revealed, it was a bit overwhelming.
Mike, you hit me right in the heart.
Preserving the history of our city. That is something good. I'm Mike Glover for Oklahoma's Own.
That donation is going to go a long way.
Yeah, exciting to see what the future holds there.
Absolutely. Here's what we're always looking, for the good in our community.
Send us those stray ideas to something good at griffin.news. Now, coming up next on the CBS Evening News, President Trump touts his accomplishments in the longest State of the Union in U.S. history. We have a breakdown.
And here's a look at what we're working on. News 9 here at 6 o'clock. Oklahoma lawmakers tackling a dozen new education bills, from student transfers to university reviews and privacy rules. We're breaking down the legislation.
Plus, born at just 1 pound and fighting to survive, how an Oklahoma baby defied the odds. Such a cutie. We can't wait to share that story with you. And then David's latest forecast coming up in 30 minutes.
We're talking about rain, a lot of rain, and some severe weather. And we're going to go from kind of, fires to, hang on a second, So we're jumping into spring in a big hurry.
Several rounds, too.
Yeah, multiple rounds.
Soaking, for sure.
Yeah, you'll get nothing at your house, but the rest of us will get a lot of rain.
It'll be really good, right,
It'll
David?
be good. It'll be good.
We'll update you at 6.
See you then.